Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 8744. So today we'll be predicting the Europa League, guys, of the group stage 2020-2024. So I want to know your guys' predictions in the comments below, guys. And remember, guys, to like and subscribe. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Of course, today's like target is going to be 20 likes for the Europa League. Let's start with Group A, guys. So Group A, guys, we have West Ham, of course, Conference League winners, Olympiacos, Freiburg, and Baka Topola. Shout out to TSC, man. That's Baka Topola. They're making their Europa League debut for the first time ever in their history. And they actually got second place over Partizan, which is pretty interesting considering how good Partizan been over the last couple of years. Freiburg, as we know, are a very difficult team to play against. In the Bundesliga, they got 5th place. And they're very, defensively solid. I would say this team is defensively solid. They're good on the counter-attack. They have some good Japanese players, of course. We saw what they did in the World Cup, And then we have Olympiacos, a team that's been kind of in free fall. I think things have rectified, though. I think Olympiacos is better now than they were last season. Last season was just a complete abysmal mess. This season they have improved things, and the West Ham, of course, we know the team that they have on paper. They're arguably, they have a good squad. You know, they brought in Kudus this summer, they brought in Edson Alvarez this summer, and they made some good signs, man. Good signs. So let's go ahead and get to my predictions, guys. Get to my predictions. So coming in last place, guys, I have a TSC. Despite the fact that I think TSC will be good in this group, I just feel like for me it's a very competitive group. And I think this being a competitive group is going to really hurt their chance of qualification. And I just don't think they have the experience. And I just don't think they'll be able to grind out the results. I think they'll play well, but they won't get the results that are necessary to advance. So unfortunately for them, I think they'll finish bottom. Third, I have is Olympiacos. Olympiacos, for me, very well could get second place. I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't think they will because I don't think they have the individual players that Freiburg have. And that's the reason why I think Freiburg will get second place. I think players like Asanjo, Ritsu Doan will be good for them. And I just feel like for me, for Freiburg, they just have more goal scorers in their team than Olympiacos. But Olympiacos can very well do it. I wouldn't be surprised. And then first, West Ham. West Ham should be top in the group with the quality players they have, And of course, as I said, who knows? They can maybe go on to go far in this Europa League competition. Do I think they have what it takes to win it? Not really. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but they should be making a deep run in this competition. David Moyes and his team. All right, guys. Group B, guys. This is the group of death, guys. This is the group of death. This is a very competitive group. We have Ajax, of course, a team that's been kind of in free fall in the last couple of seasons. Not been great. They lost a manager, lost a lot of key players. Then you have Marseille, of course. A team that also disappointed a lot last season. They didn't get to the Champions League, of course, this season. Brighton, of course, we know how good they've been playing. They've been playing some fantastic football. Arguably, they're playing the best football right now in Europe. They have AEK Athens, a team that has a crazy atmosphere at home. They're defensively decent, and of course, we know what they're capable of doing. So they have a crazy atmosphere. So, coming in last place, guys, this might come as a very controversial pick, and I might get some hate in the comments below. And let me explain my reasoning, guys. I put Ajax bottom. I just feel like for me with Ajax, I just think this team is just going to struggle a lot in this group. I feel like for me, the loss of Kudos for me is a huge, huge loss, and I'm not so sure they're able to replace him, right? And even though they have players like Bergwijn that's still there, they terminate contracts like Tadic, And I just feel like for me, Ajax is going to really struggle in this group. And while it may be surprising to see them bottom, I just feel like for me, they're going to really struggle. I don't see them getting top 2. Third at the most, in my opinion. Third, I have AEK Athens. I think this club will surprise people. This club is a team that you cannot sleep upon. And remember, they were very close to making the Champions League. They just lost the Champions League playoffs to, of course, Royal Antwerp. And it was very, very fine margins. I feel like they're going to surprise people in this group. They have a very good goalkeeper. Of course, remember the goalkeeper that was amazing against Real Madrid a few seasons ago. Of course, he is there, I believe, as a goalkeeper. And I just feel like for me, AEK Athens will be a surprise package. And then Marseille, for me, they should have enough quality to get second place. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them get third because we know at Marseille, they tend to underperform in Europe and not really show up in the European competition. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them come third. But they should be coming second, let's be real. And then Brighton. Brighton, for me, are just amazing. I mean, you have players like Matoma, Ferguson. Then you have Colwell as well. Lewis Dunk. I could go on and on. This team is unbelievable. So, Brighton is a team to look out for. Group C, guys. This is a very interesting group. We have Rangers, of course, Europa League finalist a few seasons ago. Real Betis, the La Liga team. Sparta Prague, a very competitive team. They just eliminated Dynamo Zagreb on aggregate. And the Aris Limassol, a team that I underestimate significantly my Champions League qualifiers, so I should be respecting them here. So coming to last in the group is Aris Limassol. Now this time, guys, I think Aris Limassol will finish bottom. Yes, they play good football and they're very dangerous. I just feel like for me, they're not going to get the results necessary to advance, and I feel like they're going to lose the important matchups against Spar Prague, and that's going to ultimately cost them. Spar Prague, I think they're a good team. I could see them honestly get second place in this group because I'm not really entirely convinced with Rangers, but for the time being, I'm going to go Spar Prague to get third just because I feel like they have enough quality, but do they have enough quality to stop Rangers? I don't think so. Rangers in second place. Guys, I'm putting Rangers in second place just on the basis of their players they have. Because I'll be really honest with you guys. I was very tempted to put them third. I was tempted to put them another upset. But I'm going to go with Rangers second just for now. Because for me, guys, defensively, these guys look horrible. Defensively, these guys don't look great. And so I do think Spar Prague could actually do... What I could very well see happen in this group is Spar Prague beat them at home. And the Spar Prague maybe tie away Aris Limassol. And that could cost them Spar Prague's qualification. So, Rangers, man, got to be very careful and be defensively solid and that kind of stuff. And then, of course, Real Betis. Of course, as we know, guys, Real Betis is the team to look out for. This is a very good team. You know, they brought some good players this summer. They brought in Isco this summer, I believe. And Real Betis could be cooking. They could be cooking this season in the Europa League. And so, shout out to Real Betis, man. Hopefully they do well and represent Spain. So, best of luck, man. Best of luck. The Group D, guys. We have Atalanta. They're finally back in Europe. After one season not being in Europe, they were disappointed last season. They have adopted a more pragmatic approach this season. Of course, they've lost their main guy, Rasmus Højlund, to Manchester United. They brought in Ela Torre, I think, from Almeria as a replacement, so he's good. Sporting CP, they have had an amazing transfer window. I'm really excited to see what they do with the likes of Fresnada and Gokares. Stromgras, we know what they did last season, Europa League in a very difficult group. And Rocco, man, they're making their Europa League debut for the first time in their history. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. So coming to last place, guys, I was Rocco. I just feel like for me, I just don't think they have the quality nor the experience, and I feel like they're gonna really struggle in this group. I don't see them getting very many points in this group. They could possibly muster up a few draws here and there, but I don't really see them getting any wins. And so, yeah, I hope I'm wrong though. It would be nice to see as a neutral to prove me wrong, but yeah, I think they're gonna finish bottom. Third, I have Stromgras. I think Stromgras is a very good team. They're really good at home, and we know how good Austrian clubs are. Austrian clubs are clubs you just don't want to underestimate, and I feel like this club will put up a good fight. And we saw what last season they did in that very competitive Europa League group, in that even though they finished bottom, they still got 8 points, which normally is enough to qualify, at least third place, and obviously they didn't, unfortunately. So then second place I was Atalanta. I have Atalanta get second place. I just feel like for me with Atalanta, I just don't feel like they're as good as they used to be. And so I feel like they lost some big players, and I think that's the reason why I just don't think they're going to get first in the group, and that's why I think Sporting will outscore them. I think Sporting Club de Portugal will beat them. I feel like Atalanta will really struggle against Sporting. I feel like Sporting will be the antithesis, and that's the reason why I think Sporting will top the group. I think those head-to-head matchups is why I have Sporting to advance directly to the round of 16, of course. Okay, let's talk about Group B, guys. This is Liverpool's group. Now, this is a very interesting group. I wouldn't say this is the easy group for Liverpool. Even though this may look to be easy on paper, I don't think this quite particularly is. Obviously, Liverpool, we know what they did last season. They were kind of disappointed last season in the Champions League. They didn't qualify for Champions League last season. Of course, they finished 5th in a very disappointing season. And then we have LASK. Of course, we know what this club is capable of doing. Austrian clubs, you just don't underestimate them. And, they've been good over the last couple of years. Union SG, a team that really surprised a lot of people last season. Europa League made it all the way to the Europa League quarterfinals. Then we have Toulouse, that obviously won the French Cup last season. And I believe they were, they won the French Cup last season. So shout out to them. So coming in bottom of the group, guys, is Toulouse. I just feel like for me, Toulouse is going to really struggle in this group. And I don't really see them doing really particularly well in this group. Even though, they did win the French Cup last season. I feel like their ambitions will be more on the league rather than the Europa League. And I just don't think they have the quality nor the squad to compete. So, unfortunately, I think they'll finish bottom. Then third is LESK. I think this club is going to be decent. They're going to put up some good performances, but I don't think there'll be anything too special. The second I have is Union SG. I think Union SG will be very good in this group. Even though they did sell some big players, though, this summer. They sold Boniface and Toma this summer. I still think, though, they're going to have enough quality to compete, and I still think they'll do relatively well. And then first, Liverpool. And that should be without question. Liverpool should be top in this group with the quality players that they have at their disposal, the likes of Mohamed Salah, the likes of Gakpo, Nunes. Now, my question for Liverpool is how much they're going to rotate in this competition. I think that's going to be the important thing, is that how much they're going to focus on the Europa League? Like, are they going to put all their eggs in the Europa League basket on the group stage? So I could see a scenario where Liverpool may not get first place, may just get second place, but Liverpool should be qualified. Liverpool should be making top 2 with the quality players they have. Like, if they played their entire first team, guys, they will top this group for sure. I can almost guarantee that. But if they do like a balance of like the first and second string team, then I'm not so confident. But Liverpool should have enough quality to top the group regardless. The Group F, guys. This is a very interesting group. I think this is a group that honestly I could see an upset very well taking place. Villarreal, guys, even though they play some great football, they've lost a lot of big players this summer, and they also did lose Setien. Setien's no longer the coach there. They have Rennes, a very decent team. Of course, we know what they did last season in the Europa League. Very underrated. Maccabi Haifa, a very team you cannot underestimate. We know what they did last season in the Champions League. And I know I'm going to butcher this name, so I'm going to try my absolute best to not butcher, but I'm probably going to butcher anyway. So, it's called Panathinaikos. Okay, I really try my best to pronounce it. I probably butchered the name, but you guys know what I'm talking about, So, coming in last in the group, guys, I have is Panathinaikos. I just feel like for me, this is a very gritty team. They have a lot of character. They have a lot of grit and attitude, determination. But I just don't think they have the quality. So that's the reason why I think they're going to finish bottom. Then third I have is Villarreal. This is a massive upset. And I might get a lot of shit in the comments below. And a lot of people might come at me, for me personally. But I'm going to go with Villarreal. I'm just not been convinced with Villarreal. I've not been convinced. This team has not really looked that great. And even though they do have enough quality to top this group, I just feel like for me, Villarreal, there's just some internal issues going with the club. I think the management is a mess at the moment. The players are not performing at the levels they should be, and I just feel like Villarreal is going to really disappoint. And I feel like we could see a big casualty here in the Europa League. And remember, guys, don't forget this is a club that lost 1-0 at home to Anderlecht, in the Europa League Conference League, and a competition which they were one of the favorites to win. So keep in mind that Villarreal going down to Conference League may not be as surprising as. Should be as shocking as I'm trying to make it out to be. At the second place I have is Maccabi Haifa. I think it's a very underrated team. I think these guys play some great football at times. I think defensively though they can be a bit like vulnerable at times, but I think that's what makes them good is that they're great. And the Rennes, of course, they have so many good players on paper that they should be able to top this group in my opinion. Now they did lose one big player though, Doko, to Man City. Of course, that's a huge loss, and it'll be interesting to see how they replace him in that manner. And of course, like I said, guys, they have some good players at their disposal. Like Terrier, I think, is there, and some other notable players. Group G, guys, the penultimate group. We have Roma. Of course, Europa League finalists last season, made it all the way to Europa League final. Just lost on penalties to Sevilla. Of course, the kings of the Europa League. We'll see what Roma does this season. Then we have Slavia Prague, a team that was very the team that caused fear a few seasons ago, Europa League and Champions League respectively. Sheriff, Tiraspol, of course, we know what this club is capable of doing. This club has made it to European competitions for a while now, and this club has kind of fallen off as it used to be. And the Servette, of course, Swiss club, of course. So coming in bottom of the group, guys, I have is Sheriff Tiraspol. I don't think Sheriff is that great anymore. Yes, they have made it through to Europa League. I just don't think they have been challenged, and I feel like in this group they're going to finish bottom. So yeah, then we have third. I have Servette. I think Servette FC is going to be a good team. I think they're going to cause some problems, and honestly, I almost had them in second place. But I just think that second place Slavia just is going to have too much at them. And I think Slavia Prague is a very good team at home. I think the Czech teams are generally pretty good at home. And that's the reason why I had them to narrowly get second place. And the first, Roma. Is there even a question for Roma? Roma should be top of this group. I'm sorry. With the players they have like Paulo Dybala. They added Lukaku this summer on loan. Let's see how he does, of course. Then you obviously have, Patricio in goal. Mourinho as coach. So Roma should be able to top this group. And then finally, moving on to the final group here, guys, we have Group H, guys. Leverkusen, of course, we know what Xabi Alonso has done with the team. The team has been playing some beautiful attacking football. The team is currently first right now in the Bundesliga at the time of recording this video, and they have been amazing, guys. Absolutely breathtaking football. They have Quarterback, a very underrated team. You cannot underestimate them. They're very gritty, difficult to play against, especially at home. They are Mold. We know what Mold is capable of doing. Of course, they eliminated KI in the Champions League qualifiers. And, of course, we know what they did. I believe they won the Europa League. Sorry, not won the Europa League. They won the Norwegian League last season. So, shout out to them. And Haken, of course, they won their Swiss League as well. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Coming in bottom of the group, guys, I have is Haken. I just feel like, for me, Haken's going to really struggle in this group. Even though they're Swiss champions, I'm just not really been that convinced with them. And yes, even though they made it to Europa League, guys, I've not really been convinced with them in the Champions League qualifiers. I feel like for me, they should have beaten KI, and that's kind of concerning that they didn't. And I just feel like for me, their form away from home isn't really particularly that great. And I do see sometimes they struggle at home. So I just feel like Hawkins going to really struggle in this group. I would like for them to prove me wrong, though, but I just don't see they're going to do it. Their third place up is Quarterback. I think Quarterback will simply get third just because of the basis of their home games. I think they're pretty good at home. Their away games, though, they're not very good. And Mold, I think they're going to get second place in this group because of the fact they play great football home and away. And then first, I have is Leverkusen. Leverkusen should be top of this group with the quality players they have, like Boniface. Then you have Florian Wirtz. You have Radecki. The team is unbelievable. So I hope you guys did enjoy this preview for the Europa League. Please let me know your predictions in the comments below, guys. Remember, guys, to like and subscribe if you made it this far. And comment down below hashtag 80Army if you made it this far, guys. I do appreciate it. So, like I said, guys, let me know your predictions in the comments below. And yeah, make sure you also, guys, consider becoming a member of the channel to access members' videos, member streams. And yeah, also check out me above the platforms in the description below to get access to my various platforms. And yeah, I'll see you guys later, man. Peace out.